Hey, how's it going? Excuse me, how's it going, guys? Fabio coming back with another video. What I want to talk about in this particular video is going to be pretty quick. I want to talk about, and one of my subscribers actually pointed this out to me. His name is Chris, in California, and he wanted to know, like, how do I know my employees really show up on time, right? How do I know they don't just come in when they want to come in? So, and it kind of made me think, even though I have a system in place, it kind of made me think, like, well, how do the vast majority of the people know that their employees are on time in this business? Because a lot of times you're working by yourself, right? You're out there by yourself. You really don't have anybody looking over your shoulder, right? So, the time clock. Let's talk time clocks, okay? You can get them on Amazon. You can get them from any, like, Office Depot, any place like this that sell office material, office stuff. And the time clock is still handy in the workplace today. Like, that's the best way that I think thus far to manage the actual time a person come in and a person go out, okay? I'm not so particular as what time they go out as I am the time that they come in, because essentially I want to make sure that they're on time. So if I give you a time and I say you're from 6 to 10, then I need you to be there at 6, okay? So most of the time when the employees go in, a lot of times at some places I still have maybe leftover workers, workers still working at the facility. So a lot of times when people know or feel like somebody's going to be at a facility, they're probably going to show up on time because they know that they're being watched, okay? But my people, we have it down to a science. I really don't worry about it. Even if they came in, maybe 30 minutes late, and even if they went home maybe 30 minutes early, the fact of the matter is I'm still going to pay them for that window of time of 4 hours, right? The only time that wouldn't happen is if they consistently leave maybe 30 minutes early, right? And I find out 30 minutes early because, see, I can only be in one place at one time, but I do have people designated to do certain things for me, so it makes it that much easier for me. Like in VA, I have people out there that's managing things out there in Atlanta, in Detroit, right, in Toledo. So I have people doing certain things for me. But every once and again, I do pop in at different locations. You never know. You never know when I'm going to be in the location, right? Because I don't necessarily give you a call and say, hey, I'm going to be in VA today. I'll just show up, catch a flight, show up in VA, right? But to answer Chris' question, the time clock is still handy as far as I'm concerned. You can purchase your own time clock and put it into a facility, right? Just plug it in, set the time, and let it work. Let it do its thing, okay? Or a lot of times you're able to use the client's time clock, but use your own time card or time sheet and go ahead and just stamp it. And the time clock is not gonna lie, right? If you stamped it at 9:05, you was there at 9:05, right? If you're supposed to be there at 6 o'clock in the evening, but your time card says 7:05, I mean, you was an hour and 5 minutes late. That's the way I look at it. There's no other way that you can explain this to me. You was an hour and 5 minutes late, okay? He also asked me, how do I know if they're not going home early, like if they're not just leaving early? Well, you never really know, okay? You have to instill trust. You have to make them understand the power, or the importance, I should say, of doing a great job, being thorough with the work, and let them know that you will follow up, or you have people following up. In their psyche, that'll make them think like, oh, I better not do this because they got people watching me. Okay, so you guys might want to take that into consideration, and when you setting up your situation, you want to go ahead and make sure you have, number one, great employees. Number two, you want them to be enthusiastic about working for you, okay? If I'm not enthusiastic about going to work for somebody, it's going to show, right? It's going to show in many ways. you know, my behavior, you know, my customer service, maybe my work ethic, it's going to be pretty low. So I'm just not enthused. I'm here to get a check and I'm ready to get out. But genuinely, people that work for me like working for me, right? It's pretty fun working for me because although I'm a thorough boss, I'm not a nitpicking boss. You forgot this, you forgot that. I bring it to your attention, let you correct it. And if you get fired, it's because you fired yourself, right? So yeah, that's how I pretty much keep up with the time. We still do about the time cards, things of that sort. The clocks, it's very, very important to me. Again, like I say, you can get those clocks from Office Depot. You just set them right in whatever location. Make sure you let the client know, hey, I'm setting this clock in. I just want to make sure my employees is here on time and they doing what they're supposed to be doing. And generally, they won't have a problem with that. Or they, like I say, they may even be nice enough to let you use their time clock for your employees. Okay. All you do is put the paper or put the card under there, stamp it, and there you go. Right. The time that you leave, stamp it. There you go. Okay. So it's just no way behind that. If you're supposed to leave at 10 o'clock and you stamp it at 9:05, you left an hour and 5 minutes early, right? So it's just no way around that time clock thing. Now, unless you have people punching cards for you, and that's a no-no. I don't know why any idiot would risk their job to punch a card for you, knowing eventually we're gonna find out. Okay, so that's the way it works. Hopefully this video helps you guys. Again, I still believe in time clocks or computer generated systems. Whether you everything is computerized, whether you have like a key card or something like that you just put up to like a magnetic strip or something that register your name, register the time you came in, register your time going out. I think it's very, very important. He also asked me, how do I feel about people that say they forgot to sign in or forgot to clock in? You forget to clock in with me, then we're not going to pay you for that. Point blank period. You have to remember to clock in. That should be one of the first things you remember upon arrival. You should know when I come in the building, maybe let me use the restroom, do what I have to do, let me clock in. Okay? Or vice versa, let me clock in, then use the restroom, right? Or do what you got to do to set up for the shift. So if you don't clock in with me, you don't get paid with me, period. Because I don't know that you're lying or not, right? And it's your word, but I can depend upon that clock. So you have to clock in. It's very important. I'm sorry, many people say that might be mean, but it is what it is. It's protocol for me. That's how I operate. Let's just put it this way. People that work for me, do not forget to clock in. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own drinks and making it to the top is you.